Hello and welcome to Super Pants Gaming. Thank you so much for joining me today for this episode of PlayStation Pickups. And this episode I'm going to start at the Black Country Games Fair, where we have just one PlayStation pickup from there, and that was Kiddies Party Pack on the PS2. And I don't think I opened this in the actual Black Country Games Fair thing, so I'll open it now and show you. It's in lovely condition, which I'm kind of pleased to say, because that probably means that no kid has ever had to play this, so which is great. So yes, I haven't actually played this yet. If I get around to it before this episode goes up, sort of thing, I will put a little bit of something up there, and also I will do a time lapse on one of the colouring things on this, because I know you guys love that, and somehow cut it in a roundabout here somewhere. But I guess I'm probably just waffling now. So yes, so that's from the Black Country Games Fair. Mad pleased with that. So yeah, that's going into the Phoenix collection down there, because it's one of my prized Phoenix games. So yeah, there you go. Then, because I didn't, like I said in the Black Country Games Fair, I spent very little. I spent about 10% of what we were sort of expecting to spend, sort of thing. So I came home and I said, right, let's grab a couple of other bits. And I ordered a couple of bits online, and we'll get to those in a little while. But the day after, basically, so this is like in the order that I got stuff, I went to a local-ish CEX, and they just so happened to have a game on the shelf, which is one of the games that I've been after for ages, and you're going to guess it's a PS4 game, and that's Risk of Rain 2. Now, this isn't at all rare or anything. It's just I've never bumped into it in the wild, sort of thing, and I saw it sitting there, and I was like, oh, that was on my list. I want that. That's coming home with me, sort of thing. So I picked it off the shelf, and it is damaged. Okay, the case, you can see there's like a chunk missing. But I was like, no, I don't care. I'm having that, because, you know, that's an indie that I really, really want, sort of thing. I've wanted it for ages. I don't know why I've never got around to picking it up. And I've got home with this. I've stuck it in the machine, and on the front it says it includes Risk of Rain, which is like the original sort of thing, which is like sort of almost the 2D version. This is like the 3D version of that sort of thing. And on the label, the CEX label, it's £8. You can see it just says Risk of Rain 2. So I was expecting that Risk of Rain 1 was like a DLC code or something that obviously wouldn't work if it was still in there, sort of thing. And I've put this in the system, and it comes up as Risk of Rain Bundle, which is Risk of Rain 1 and 2. So it's like I bought this for Risk of Rain 2, and I've ended up with both of them, and that is absolutely phenomenal. I had no idea that Risk of Rain 1 was actually on here. So yeah, mad pleased with that. So that's the first one. Now I'm looking along, and there's another game, a game that I wanted to get back in my collection, a game that I had quite a while ago and played through, sort of thing. And that's one of the Persona dancing games. Now, I know what you're going to say, you know, it's like, yeah, that's sort of a sort of easy rhythm game, sort of thing. But Persona 3, Dancing in Moonlight. So, yeah. And I like my Personas in this order. So everyone's about to unsub, I can promise you that. Persona 4, as in 4 Golden, is the best Persona ever made. And then Persona 3, and then Persona 5. Okay, that's my preference. I think, for me, 5 felt a little bit more sort of brash, and I didn't relate to the characters in the same way that I thought I did sort of on the sort of PlayStation 2 games, or, well, Persona 4 Golden was Vita, but yeah. So I really like this. I really like the music in the Persona games and stuff. And I kind of thought I could get this back and go with it for the 52 Platinum Challenge. So I'll just show you this. This is lovely and complete. It's like practically sort of new, which is a good thing, because to be totally honest, a couple of days I had a little look on the game collection and didn't realise this is £10 brand new, and I paid 12 quid for it in CEX. So I maybe got mugged off for a couple of quid there. But I'm not that bothered, because it is in really nice condition. And while I was there, I had a little look along the shelf. Now, I don't normally pick Vita games up. It's been ages since I picked a Vita game up. I've actually sold a few sort of over the last few years, sort of thing. And I don't give the Vita enough love. And, you know, the Vita is an amazing little console. And this store doesn't normally have many Vita games, but they had like a load, and half of them were front facing. And I just saw this, and I don't know, I kind of thought, for a fiver, it's a Vita game I've never played, I don't know much about, sort of thing. But for a fiver, I mean, Chima, Laval's Journey, I don't know. Impulse buy attack, maybe, but for a £5 for a Vita game, I'm hoping this is sort of a game that gets me playing the Vita again. And I do like all the Lego games. You know, Lego games are sort of fun, and yeah, I can quite happily just sort of sit there. And to be totally honest, the Lego games work really well on sort of handheld, so I think that was a solid little pickup for a £5. And yeah, so there we go. So I spent 25 quid there, and I was thinking, yeah, excellent. With the bits I've ordered, which we'll get to in a second, then that sort of makes up for sort of the lack in the pickups sort of from the sort of day or two earlier sort of thing. So yes, so I'm going to take you to the unboxing table, and we are going to open the two things that have come in the post. So I'll see you there. So here we are with the two packages. This is a CEX package, as you can probably tell, and this one's one from eBay. Not a lot of rattle on either of these, so I'll let you guess as to whether you think they're PS4 games or not, because I do buy a lot of PS4 games, as you've probably noticed. So anyway, we'll start with the CEX package. And going to need a little knife to get into this one, I imagine. So let's just go in here. Here we go. Oh, we got a bit of paper. And we have Pretty Girls Game Collection 3. Yes, I know what you're thinking. This is absolute shovelware, and you are quite correct. Yes, so Pretty Girls Game Collection 3. Now, this serves a couple of purposes, if I'm totally honest, aside from being a little bit cringe. So I was a little bit worried when I saw it was an 18, but it says on the back, gambling. So that's a relief, to be honest. But I've kind of got something a little bit similar to this that I'll touch on in a second anyway. But I bought this because this, in theory, is 4 platinum trophies, and they will be quite easy to get. And the games, I don't think will be that bad. And the reason I'm saying that is because in the past, so I don't know, a few years back, I took an absolute punt. I was like sort of buying, I used to buy a lot more sort of online from CEX and stuff. And I'd sort of build a basket of stuff and then just be like, yeah, I'll have that sort of thing. And one of the games that I ended up adding in at some point was this. Now, I'm going to butcher the name, Bishoju Battle, something like that. Bishujo, I don't know. And this is very similar to what those games are. And it's 2 games, and it's basically Quicks and Mahjong. Now, I saw this, I think it was just after it released, because there was no write-up on it whatsoever on CEX, and I saw it. I kind of got a sort of Valkyria Chronicle sort of vibe from it, because it's like girls with machine guns sort of thing. I thought, I don't know what that is, but maybe it's sort of like that sort of thing. So it turned up with the other games and stuff, stuck it in, it's Quicks and Mahjong. I'm like, okay, that's a bit different, but I'll be totally honest, I actually enjoyed it, because, you know, I used to like those sort of games. I used to play that sort of stuff like when I was younger sort of thing. So I don't really know why it needs anime girls in it, but it's weird. It's weird, but I quite enjoyed that. So I thought to myself, right, I should probably be saving this until I'm talking about the 52 Platinum Challenge, to be honest, but I got this for that because in April, I think it is, there are 3 games coming out on Game Pass on Xbox that I really, really want to play. I kind of want a month off in a way, and this is my month off in my hand right now, because this is 4 really easy platinums that I can probably just absolutely bash through. But they're not clickers. They won't be that simple. I think there's Texas Hold'em all. There's a Mahjong-y type thing again, and there is, I think it's a Breakout clone, which hopefully will be quite fun. And then there's something else called Speed, but I'm not quite sure what that is. So yeah. This was the cheapest of the 4 because there's 4 of these as far as I know. And I didn't really care which one I got. I just wanted one of them. So I went for the cheapest one. I'll put a thing up there. And yes, so that is that, and that's the reason I've got that. And I'll be honest, a little shout out as well. I think these might be quite uncommon in the future, because I think they're sort of missing the core audience, because these games are sort of like old sort of retro-y sort of games. And then anime girls. I'm thinking someone that likes anime girls probably isn't going to be into the games that are on here, and someone that's into the games that are on here probably aren't really going to be into the anime girls. So I don't know. I think these are maybe a little bit cringe, and maybe will get missed by most people, and most people just won't want them. So I don't know. I think these might be uncommon in 20 years' time. So probably after I'm gone, people. So yeah. One of you needs to stop these going to landfill. All right. Oh dear, that went a bit off track. But anyway, let's have a look what's in the last package. We're going to go for scissors with this because it's pretty well mummified. And we have... Oh, he's put it in a plastic case thing as well. Lovely. Fatal Frame, Made in the Blackwater. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys are probably aware that I was mentioning this a couple of times like recently, so that's probably no surprise to you whatsoever that I've bought this. He's put it in one of those plastic case things, which is really nice, so awesome. Yes, so you might have seen this come in. Fatal Frame, Made in the Blackwater. This is a case of having your cake and eating it, people. Because if I hadn't have gone to the Black Country Games Fair, this would have been the game that I'd have got. And yeah, going there, not spending much, means I've come home and still been able to get it. So win-win from that sort of scenario, I would say. I've played the first hour of this, and as I expected, I absolutely love it. So I'm pleased I didn't have to buy a Wii U to play it, though, because I very nearly did that a few years ago. But yeah, there you go. Yeah, I was going to say, make sure if you're going to get a copy of this, if you're considering a copy of this, that you get the right version sort of thing. Because I believe the Japanese version is only Japanese sort of thing. This is the Region 3 version, which I think is like Hong Kong Chinese sort of thing. And also, this was a little bit of a pain to get into English because you've got to navigate the menus in what I presume is Chinese. So I might actually stick a little video up about that because I figured out how to do it after about 10 minutes of changing all the settings and stuff, yeah. But yes, there you go. Fatal Frame, Made in the Blackwater. I am so pleased to have this in the collection because I've wanted this for a few years now. Yes, and I will say before I go, there's another game that's actually on its way, but that was an auction, so it hadn't actually finished, sort of. It finished like yesterday, sort of thing. So the game's actually on its way to me at the moment. So it wasn't here in time for this video, but it's another sort of... It's another kind of big one for the PS4, if I'm totally honest. And you guys will have to wait and see what that is. I think it may have been the only one in the country as well, so it is sort of quite a... It's a really decent one, and I'm so pleased to be sort of ticking off all the sort of stuff from the top of my want list for the PS4 at the moment. Yeah, it's absolutely buzzing. So, as you can probably tell. So yes, anyway, remember you guys are awesome. I've been Soup, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, people.